So Daniel Jones just signed with the Minnesota Vikings. I really thought he was going to wait until the offseason to sign with the team, but because his value is so low right now, and because him and his agent pretty much know that, I'm sure he wants to change that narrative as quickly as possible, so hence why he is signing right away. As of right now, he's going to be on the Vikings practice squad, and the Vikings will pay him 375K for the remainder of the season. What a discount, and what a big difference between getting paid millions and millions and millions from the Giants to only getting paid 375K from the Vikings. And granted, the Giants are still going to be paying him for a while, so regardless, Danny Dimes is winning, making a lot of money, and this is a good spot for him, man. It's a really, really good spot. One, Kevin O'Connell is just one of the best offensive minded guys in the league right now. And two, the Vikings offense is pretty loaded, so it's just a really, really good team for him to land on. And yeah, probably a week or two from now, Daniel will become Sam Darnold's backup, who Sam Darnold has actually been kind of banged up the last couple of weeks too. So definitely keep an eye on that as well. Who knows? Maybe we'll see some Danny Dimes action with the Vikings at some point this year. But yeah, man, going forward, I expect Daniel Jones and JJ McCarthy to be the two QBs, at least in the 2025 season for the Vikings. Just because they could get Daniel at a cheap cost, they're probably going to give him a good contract, a cheap, good contract if they like what they see from him for the remainder of the year. And if he's just a smart guy, they'll probably want to bring him back because Sam Darnold is probably going to get a big contract, probably similar to the Baker contract where I believe it was 4 years, 100 mil, something along the lines of that. But we'll definitely have to see how he plays down the stretch. If Sam plays really good down the stretch, he'll for sure get a contract like that, maybe even something that exceeds that number. But yeah, if you're a Vikings fan, just be well aware that this is probably going to be Sam's only season with the Vikings, and who knows where he'll go. I could see the Raiders potentially trying to get him, maybe Tennessee as well. We'll see if he could continue his success that he's had this season and if he could transfer that to another team, but we'll have to find out. Now, I know a lot of people wanted Daniel Jones to go to the Raiders. I'm not sure if the Raiders offered him a contract. I think it was probably in their best interest not to, because to tank for the remainder of the year is really the move for the Raiders. And if I was Danny Dimes' agent, I would definitely not advise him to go there or take that contract if they offered him one, just because it's not a good situation at all. They really only have Brock Bowers there and a very poor coaching staff. So the fact that his value right now is extremely low, for him to go and start a couple games for the Raiders and not have good performances, that would just even make his value even worse than it is right now. So definitely a good move to avoid that team. I was also thinking maybe the Rams would be interested in Daniel Jones too, just because he could maybe be kind of a development project for Sean McVay, and Matt Stafford is definitely up there. I'm not sure how much he has left in the tank, and the dude is pretty banged up as well, so I feel like that would have been another good spot for him. Plus, Sean McVay, man, I'm sure he would put Danny in great situations on a week-to-week basis. Another team I thought would be interested would be the Seahawks, just because Geno and the future, it's kind of an unknown, to be honest. I'm not sure if Geno is going to be their long-term option. I don't really expect them to go with Geno for the foreseeable future. I totally expect the Seahawks to draft a quarterback, but I think if you really have a good offensive coordinator or an offensive minded head coach, I really believe Daniel Jones could kind of be like a pet project for one of those guys, even for a guy like Kyle Shanahan. That's another team I thought would be interested in him. I'm not sure if they offered him a contract. I don't know if John Lynch talked to his agent at all, but especially with Brock Purdy being hurt and them kind of being one game back from a playoff position, I thought they would definitely give him a ring. So, bit surprised there. But regardless, good move for Danny. He's going to the Vikings. Let me know if you guys like this move. Do you agree with me that this is a good spot for him, or would you have rather see him go somewhere else? Let me know in the comments below. So for the 2025 year, don't be surprised if Daniel maybe becomes the starter for the first half or the first chunk of the year. And that's another reason why I feel like he's signed with Minnesota. Just the blueprint is all right there. Just look at what happened with Sam Darnold this year. Kevin O'Connell essentially resurrected his career, and JJ McCarthy's health is kind of an unknown for at least the start of the 2025 year. Of course, he had a knee issue after the first preseason game, out for the year. But a couple weeks ago, he got another procedure done on his knee, and it's not really good news. So I don't know if he's going to be ready for training camp. I don't know if he's going to be ready for preseason. But regardless, don't be surprised if Danny gets in the mix. And not only that, we don't really know how JJ McCarthy is going to look. So I don't know what type of leash Kevin O'Connell would have him on. And I don't know what Daniel Jones and JJ McCarthy are going to look like in training camp. Who knows? Maybe the gap is so big that they have no choice but to start Daniel Jones. I mean, Daniel Jones has been in the NFL for quite some time now, and he had some good games with the Giants. He had that one good year when he led the Giants to the playoffs, Brian Daboll's first year. I wouldn't be shocked if he has a good year if he were to start for the Vikings. I just really trust O'Connell, and like I said, man, there's some good pieces on this offense. Of course, Justin Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson, Aaron Jones. Like, come on, man. So the Daniel Jones comeback arc has officially begun. Let me know if you think his career will be saved, or do you think he would be relegated to the UFL, XFL sometime in the foreseeable future. Let me know in the comments. And recently the Giants GM Joe was spotted talking with Deion Sanders, assuming he's there to watch Shador Sanders, Deion's son. So things are heating up in that department for sure. Shador to New York would be very fun to watch. That'd be a very, very entertaining for him. That'd be a very, very entertaining place for him to land. Will Deion join him? Will Brian Daboll be the coach? I guess we'll all find out very shortly. Anyways, if you made this far, please subscribe and help out your boy a lot. That's all I got for right now. Peace.
Every defense is looking for somebody to hit the quarterback, and the best person to do it is the defensive end. What a good job that time by him.
Green set now, split out wide to the left. Rivers has got it in the gun.
And that pass is just thrown away. The Chargers are going to punt this one away.
And no return as this goes for a touchback.
The Chargers defense, where was it the last time? They could not stop the pass.
Well, they were trying. I mean, they were working as hard as they could, but hey, this group they're going against on offense, they're pretty good.
First down at the 20.
Demaryius Thomas with the grab.
Met by Flowers that time.
Anytime you get over 4 yards on first down, it doesn't matter what the play is. Is it a run or a pass? That time, nice throw by the QB. Now they're in great position. Second down and short.
The Broncos have it at the 29.
The NFL is so hard in these known situations. Second down and short is a big running down in the NFL. The defense knew it. They took advantage of it and stopped the offense for no gain.
Pulls it in. That's been the story of this game. Another third down conversion to move the chains.
I like